Um, okay, we're in the middle of Parak Shmini, explaining Netzach, Hod, and Yesod, the three together. Just to do a quick review, Netzach is Netzach and Hod. They always go together. Netzach, Hod, and Yesod come to a triangle, just like Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes. Similar triangle, but it's on a more revealed level. So we'll explain in sort of simple pshat is that Netzach is like Moshe Rabbeinu was Netzach, and Aaron was Hod. Means to say that Moshe Rabbeinu had the vision, if you will. Moshe Rabbeinu had the nevuah, but he wasn't able to properly articulate it to Paro and even to Klal Yisrael, so he needed Aaron. Aaron, Huya, Nevi'acha. So it comes out that Aaron was the implementation of Moshe. Hod is the implementation of Netzach. The same thing is David and Shlomo. David had the vision of the Beis HaMikdash, but he didn't build the Beis HaMikdash. Shlomo HaMelech built the Beis HaMikdash. So in that sense, says the Ari, that David HaMelech was Netzach and Shlomo HaMelech was Hod. So Hod is also B'chlal, the Indian of Kahuna, insofar as the Yofi of the Kahuna, the big day Kahuna, right? Hod Lucifaris. Hod Lucifaris. So the Hadar of the Kohen was to take the Yofi of the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu and to bring it into this world, mamish, the world of Gashmias, in a very, very beautiful way. So when you see, Hod and Hadar are connected. When you see something very, very beautiful, what's really happening with Hod, see, what were those rays of light that were coming from Moshe Rabbeinu? Karnei Hod. Karnei Hod. Zachal Karnei Hod. Pshat is that what was within him was Torah, but what the burst out energy, the light which burst out, which couldn't be contained after the Luchas Niyos, that light was such a, which you have to be medayik, like why there was that dafka after the Luchas Niyos. And everyone knows that the Chazal, famous quote of Chazal is that when Moshe Rabbeinu wrote Vayikro with a little aleph, his anivos, so that extra ink would have been a big aleph, the extra ink. So Medrash says when it went on to Moshe Rabbeinu's forehead, V'zoicha l'karnei hod. V'zoicha l'karnei hod. So what's up is that particular drop of ink. I mean, we're going to learn that it's all connected. But the point of what we learned the other day is that Hod is always the implementation of Netzach, and even the breakthrough beauty, of Netzach. So if you do something the key word here is do. If you do something al pi Torah, according to the vision, according to the nevuah, which comes out as an actual improvement in the yofi of this world, you've actually upgraded the beauty of the world. So then you've taken Netzach and you've brought it to Hod. So as I pointed out, on a very human level, like a lot of us have Netzach and we get stuck at the Hod, meaning that it's very possible that we have all kinds of very good visions. Everybody doesn't want to be a tzaddik. Everybody wants to be a tzaddik, right? Why should we want to be a tzaddik? But implementing it is the hard time part. Like everybody wants to do the right thing. Everybody wants to do exercise, so we all buy the equipment, and then it becomes an expensive coat hanger. So that's this kesher between Netzach and Hod, which is a very difficult kesher. And then you get to Yesod. And Yesod is when the kesher is made. So Netzach, Chod, Yesod. So that's what we learned on Rabbi Yaacov. We just missed a review. So Netzach is always that which it's eternal, it's victorious, it's a Netzach, Nitzachon, but it's not necessarily implemented yet. So you have like a Moshe, you have a David HaMelech, and that was the Yachin of Boaz in front of the Beis Hamikdash. Yachin is a lashon of Hachana, and Oz is a lashon of Koach. Yachin of Boaz. So that's what the Rishonim say. So
the implementation is the Boaz is what really takes the real strength. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So can you say that
you can't have one without the other? One without the other, as we explained, if you'd have just Hadar or just Hod without Netzach, so you would have just Aaron without Moshe, you would have an Egel Azov. It's very beautiful, it's gold, it's beautiful, but there's no tachlis. You end up with a Pesel Micha. It has the Gashmias angle of it, like it has the overflow. See, this is the problem. The problem always is that, like, if Or Zarua La Tzadik, Yisrael like Tzadik is Midas HaYesod, by the way. Tzadik Yesod. But you have this hanhaga of a tzaddik, so it creates literally or. So many people want that, so they imitate the or instead of imitating the tzaddik. You see, you can't have hod without. So people walk around like a big tzaddik, but they're not a big tzaddik because you have to have first the netzach. The netzach has to burst out into hod. It has to be it has to come forth from the netzach. You can't just have hod without netzach, and you can't have netzach without hod, because if you have netzach without hod, so then there's also a machla of the generation. Not only do we have the superficial without the internal, but you could have the eternal without the implementation. So then you're never lasu geshmaitza libedehilchus. Like it's never happening. It's never actually happening. So to walk the walk or to talk the talk, one without the other is no good. Like like tell you. So that's the netzach.
Can you take it back a step and say that Ribono Shalom is the Netzach and the Bria is the Hod?
I don't know what that means, because we're talking about a much more technical architecture than that. So what we're talking about here is that how does the Bria work? And the Bria works that first comes Netzach, and then from Netzach comes Hod, as I understand it. I don't understand it. Did you send me an email? I don't understand it as Netzach and Hod as being independent.
It should be, because in the picture there.
In the picture, it's independent. Yeah. No, but everything is just like Gevurah without Chesed. So you need the Chesed as the Noisin and the Gevurah as the Makabel. So then you have the Netzach and the Hod. It has to go together, I think. I'm sure that Hod is an independent concept because it's a Hod is an independent concept, as is Netzach. But this is what the Tomer Devorah is saying, that they must work together. Netzach must be feeding the Hod. And then it all comes to Yesod, which is what we want to discuss. Now
I'm sorry, also the Rav mentioned some Kabbalist stuff with the Yom is only small.
Yamin is small, Yanika is
So, Yamin is normally, let's say for most people, is the stronger side. The small is weaker.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rav is saying that without that small, then we don't have any.
It's a good ha'ara. Like if you take the two ideas, like one is the substance and one is the implementation, which is harder. Obviously, it's harder to have substance. But it's harder to have substance. To be real is hard. But the point is that it has no. If it never comes anywhere, it never goes anywhere. So then, if you would have Moshe at the burning bush, and Hashem's talking to him, and he's telling talk to Klal Yisrael, talk to Pari, Daber al Pari, but he can't talk. He can't talk. He says, "Adi aral svasayim." I can't talk. This is all fine in the Netzach area. But where's the Hod? Okay, talk to Aaron, your brother. He's the Hod. He's the Kohen. The Kahuna is always the implementation. I'm sure that there's such a thing in the corporate world, but I don't know anything about the corporate world. but I'm sure it's the same thing. Like in other words, you have to have the think tank, the ideologue, and then you have the implementation part of it. See, what there should be is. Whenever I say this, if I were a gadol, then everyone says to me, well, with your shittas, you'd be a gadol for about 2 minutes. But what I would say is that everybody should go to Kollel for a few years and then go to implementation classes for the next few years. Like it's Netzach, is gewaldig, but Netzach without Hod is not really pushing along the process to Yesod and Malchus. And Malchus is where we need to get to. We need to get to Malchus. The Tomer Devorah has. Let me just say a couple things about Yesod. Tzaddik Yesod Olam. Not every. There's a lot of different names for righteous people. You could be a Chassid. You could be a Yashar. It could be a Tamim. There's a lot of words. That Tzaddik is specifically Midas HaYesod. Tzaddik. We use the word generically, which everybody, we all want to be Tzadikim. It is a generic word, but technically speaking, a Tzaddik is the one that is Mekasher Shemayim va'aretz. Like Yosef was a Tzaddik. Yosef HaTzaddik. Yosef was a Tzaddik. We don't say Yaakov HaTzaddik or Avraham HaTzaddik. We don't. Yosef HaTzaddik. That's what we say. Why? Because Yosef Hayah b'Mitzrayim. So, in other words, what Yosef did is he took the ethereal, or the esoteric world of the Avos and even his brothers, and Yosef Hayah b'Mitzrayim. He was able to bring it to a place of the ultimate in Gashmias, the ultimate in Tumah, the ultimate in Memtesh Shari Tumah was Mitzrayim, the worst place in the world. But the whole idea of the Brias HaOlam, nothing less than the whole idea of the Brias HaOlam is to bring the Shechina into L'Tachtainim. The whole idea of the Beis HaMikdash is there should be a Dira B'Tachtainim. And the whole idea of Mashiach is that the world V'haya Hashem L'Melech HaKol HaOretz. The whole idea is the Oretz, the whole point. I'm not, I don't know if anybody is like the Makubal to understand why Hashem needed to create the world, but one thing's for sure, the reason he created the world was because he wanted the Shechina B'Tachtainim. That's the Davar Baruch. Why did he need this? I don't know, but he, why did he need this? But Efshar Lavin, but it's not for now. But what's clear is that it's all about bringing it to Oretz. And Yosef was the one that brought the Shechina from Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Netzach, Hod to Yesod. He was Yesod. That's why before there's a Mashiach ben David, there's a Mashiach ben Yosef. There's two concepts of Geula. Mashiach ben Yosef is to just bring all the to master the world, to master. We don't know too much about Mashiach ben Yosef. Small Gemara and Sanhedrin someplace. It's not something that we know a lot about. We don't even know if it's a good thing. Like we don't even know if it's like, okay, we're up to Mashiach ben Yosef. Okay, we don't know. It's Mashiach ben Yosef. And a lot of people talk about Mashiach ben Yosef because of the modern state of Israel. And, we don't know what Mashiach ben Yosef is. Rav Kook felt Mashiach ben Yosef doesn't have anything to do with Yiddishkeit. Doesn't have to be from at all. Herzl. Mashiach ben Yosef, I think he said, at a hesped, Rav Kook, to which the Haredim got very nervous. But it's, Yosef was from, but that was, he was from. Chayra. But,
isn't it the implication that if you saw as tzaddik, then Mashiach ben Yosef should...
Tzaddik means where, but tzaddik means that this is the makom, the transformation place where Ruchnius becomes Gashmius. So whoever's in charge of that transformation, I don't know if he has to come in a Gashmius, or he has to come in a Ruchnius, or he has to come from both. We like to think of him, but that's what tzaddik means. Tzaddik means that I'm being meichin the world. Agav, I think Yosef is the same gematria as Tzion. So, how's that? Right? Isn't it right? 156. Right?
Tzaddik, if you didn't have Tzion as tzaddik.
Yeah. So, no, but it means to say, what's Tzion? How hard Tzion? What does Tzion mean? That's the place where Ruchnius and Gashmius meet. So what we're looking at is Midas HaYesod is the place where, this is the whole tachlis of everything, is Midas HaYesod. So it's interesting that Midas HaYesod is always associated, and I'm actually going to skip this part because Midas HaYesod is always associated with the bris, ois bris, kedushas habris, being careful with our bris. But like what I do want to address is like a bris is a covenant between two sides. That's what a bris means. A bris doesn't mean a milah. Milah means milah. Bris, like bris ben absar, a bris means a covenant. What's a covenant? What's a covenant? Agreement. Or working together, an agreement to work together of two sides. So this is shamayim v'aretz. When we talk about a bris, we're talking about a cooperation between shamayim v'aretz, HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael. So the ois, it's interesting that, we say, I'm going to a bris, milchiks or inflations. but the bris, that's you're not going to. You're going to a celebration of the bris between Klal Yisrael and Avinu Shebashamayim. So Mamela, there's bagels, but it's what you're going through over here is it's not even the operation. That's a man, the operation which is going on, but we're celebrating the bris. So it's interesting to me, like, why is the os bris by Mila, by Osomako? I didn't get involved with the whole Shmir Sabris, we all understand, but like, why is it like if you're an Evet and you want to prolong your Avdus, so you make a hole in your ear. If you want to be more spiritual about it, Umalta Mas Orlas Levavchem. So do some kind of a heart surgery or something. But is it bris ba'osamakom? That's the bris. That's the bris. Why is that the bris?
It's the most, could be most Tomer place in a way.
Most earthy.
Most earthy things that we don't want in the body go out, but on the other it can be
the most covetous. So take it a little deeper.
Which is the purpose of what we're here, is to take the gashmis and
I take it back. You're saying it deeper. Take a little shallower. Like I push it, like more push it. I think
It's limits.
Like why is everyone so amok about this? Well, what do you say?
So the most, the stronger part of the personality may be physical, but it's not the most tameh. So it's down.
Right. What?
People are most driven by this power, but it's not the most tameh. It's just because it's the most important for women to get children and things like that.
Right. Okay, but I'm saying Arayas, you're chayiv kares. If you don't do a bris, you're chayiv kares. It's pretty serious.
Okay.
But I agree. I agree. The point is this: that Hakadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Hakadosh Baruch Hu created man, and then He gave it over to us. So here you have, we're creating people now. Hashem's not creating people anymore, per se. So we're creating people. So what you have here now is okay. Now we have a bris. In other words, this is how you do this. This is your end result. Now create people. Now, obviously, if you abuse that power, so then one's wasting seed, etc. But the point of it is that this is zoy sabris. This is the bris. The bris is that you're meant to take over because Chesed Gvura Tiferes Netzach Yesod, not to take over and forget about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but on the contrary, permeate the koach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu into this world, ad kedei hod and ad kedei yesod, that it should, but without short-circuiting at any place. Because if you short-circuit someplace, so then what's happening? It becomes an independent concept. You have an egel azav, and the same thing is with yesod. If you short-circuit it and just procreate or not procreate, then you have Yesod without Netzach and Hod. There's no Netzach backing up. There's no Keser backing up the Yesod. You understand me? So the Yesod has to be hooked up to the whole Marechet over here in order to be holy. But once it's holy, Zoy Sabris. This is the bris, because this is what's supposed to happen. I'm making a world, and now continue to make the world. Pru'ervu umilu es haaretz. And there's nothing more yesodistic. There's nothing more yesodi than that. There's nothing more of a bris. So hence the bris is not in the ear or even in the heart, or you don't cut off a piece of your finger. But which, by the way, Agav, it doesn't say in the Torah. anywhere that this is how you do a bris. It just says umaltem esorlas b'sarchem b'yom hashmini. Right? It doesn't say anywhere like what you don't know if you're supposed to cut off a piece of your finger.
Kol zachar. More or less from kol zachar. Zachar in the place of zachar.
Malcolm Zachar is a drasha. So what's the pshat in a drasha? A drasha is coming from us. A Torah Shabbat Peh. It's a drasha. That's the pshat in a drasha. It has to be al pi drasha. Perforce it has to be al pi drasha because the drashas are the Torah Shabbat Peh is our part. Hashem gave the Torah Shabbat. We give the Torah Shabbat Peh. So what you're talking about here is Yesod is the beginning of the Hashlama of the Marechet. I hope I'm not being complicated because it's really very simple. You're being complicated. I'm saying you're taking it even a step deeper, which is true what you're saying. And that's why it's such a precarious thing, maybe. But the simple pshat, no schmutz. Simple pshat is the Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, and then Yesod. Is there any other place where heaven touches earth more than the ability to create more people? To bring in neshama from Shemayim and to bring it into this world? That's what happens. We're having a child, taking the neshama from Shemayim and bringing it into this world. Kabbalah. Babish like the Koach Hashem. So that's what Yesod is supposed to be. Malchus even more, just we didn't get there yet. But that's what Yesod. The other place where you find a bris, and I just want to speak about this for a minute, is in Parshas Noach. What does it say? Keshes is a bris. Ois bris. Kashti ba'anon. Samti kashti ba'anon. We'll get to tefillin. You're right. But let's look at the keshes. Keshes is complex and beautiful. Keshes, a rainbow. Al pi halacha, by the way, keshes has to al pi halacha, to make a bracha. Keshes has to come from here to here. It can't be just keshes banon. It has to be like the pictures, like the coloring books of the flood. Like the keshes. Keshes. Kishmoi kenhu. It's not just a multicolor mist in the sky. This is not a keshes. Keshes means a bow. The word keshes.
It won't be keshet in anan.
Well, so it has to reach the anan, but a keshes has to come. We've seen that. It has to come. Otherwise, not a keshes. A keshes. It's a keshes. The word keshes is like a bow and arrow. That's what a bow means. So bow means it starts here, and it goes here, and it has a tension from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth, which makes it round. And then there's the string, which is malchus. So the keshes is a fascinating thing. I just want to show you. The Gemara says in Brachas, test, I hope. The Gemara says. Seminal. Amar Rabbi Alexandri. Love the name. I have a son that name. Amar Rabbi Alexandri. Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Name of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, much earlier. Haroyes ha-keshes be'anon. If you see a keshes and the anon, says Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, tzar sheyipol al panav. You have to bow down. Shenemar. Because the pasuk in Yecheskel, the very beginning of Yecheskel, says Kimare hakeshes asher yeh ba'anon ve'ere ve'epol al panai. Yecheskel said, I saw the keshes in his nevuah, and I saw the keshes, I saw the rainbow, and I bowed down. Ve'epol al panai. Well, it says also in Yom Kippur davening. Right? Keshes. What's the lashon? Hayotzei mitoich ha'anan ma'areh kohen. Kohen. So the kohen, the anan, the keshes, mitoich ha'anan. Says the Gemara, loiti Allah b'marava in Eretz Yisrael. They did not want to hear this. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, they have to bow down to a keshes. Mishum demechsi command kosagid lakashta. It looks like we're worshiping rainbows. Whereas Eretz Yisrael was too full of avodah zarah, at the time that it was too dangerous. We're going to start if we're going to go out of shul instead of saying Kiddush Levana, we're all going to go down and bow down to the rainbow. We're going to have tsaros. But it means to say that that's an issue of Maris Ayin, like, but be'etzem you should bow down to a keshes. They didn't like it because it looks like you're bowing down to something other than HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But be'etzem, you see from this Gemara, it would be the right thing to bow down for a keshes. So the Gemara says, bowing down we don't do, avo bruche vadei mivrech, but nevertheless you should make a bracha. My mevarech. What's the bracha you should make? Omer, you should say, Baruch Zoicher Habris. Masnisa Tana, Rabbi Shmuel B'nai Rabbi Yochanan Ben Breik Omer, Neman B'vrisai V'kayam B'mamarai. So, Amar Apapa, Hilchach, Neimrinu Lahu L'Tarvayu, because we're not sure which is the right girsa of the bracha, we say both. We say Baruch Zoicher Habris, Neman B'vrisai V'kayam B'mamarai. That's a handy bracha, by the way, I don't know by heart. Baruch Zoicher Habris, Hashem remembers the bris. Neman B'vrisai, let's understand it. He's trusted with his part of the agreement. V'kayim b'marbara. And he's Makayim the bris with his words. So that's the bracha you make, Ad Kan the Gemara. I just want to point out like a very interesting thing, that this is all a memra of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, but the Gemara says in Ksuvas, Ayin Zion, the Gemara says that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi took a trip up to the Shemayim, and they said, he wanted to see the Shemayim before he dies. So he came to Shemayim and he said he'd like to see Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, the Gemara says. He'd like to see Bar Yochai. They took him to Bar Yochai, who was a very piercing human being, individual, whatever he was at that time. And he said, Bar Levoy, you're the famous Yeshua ben Levi, you're the famous Bar Levoy, you're the son of Levi. So he said to him, Ra'isa keshes biyamecha, did you ever see a rainbow in your time? And he said, yes. So he says, Im kain, iyata bar levoy. If that's the case, you're not the tzaddik everybody says you are. So Rishon Bar Yochai said, thank you for visiting. If you saw a rainbow, so everybody knows that in a door, Rashi says that in a generation that you see a rainbow, so that means that you're not supposed to tell somebody that there's a rainbow outside because it's bad news. Why is it bad news? Well, it means that what? Hashem wanted to destroy the world and he has to come on to his bris. Okay, so like in other words, it's like your wife waving her ksuva. It's like what?
Doesn't it say that actually that he had not seen it?
So the Gemara says that really he never saw a keshes, but he was an anav. He didn't want to say that I didn't see a keshes. There was no keshes. It's a Gavaldic thing. In other words, like it means to say the Gemara is saying that in the schus of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi at the end of the Gemara, in the schus of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, one man, there was no keshes the entire time he was alive, 94 years. There was no keshes for 94 years because of one man, Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said if there would have been a keshes, then that means that there's no tzaddik. You're not Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. I mean, you see, one tzaddik can change the whole world. That there's no midas hadin in the world. One tzaddik out of 7.5 billion people. One tzaddik. That's all it takes. I'm just a fascinating thing. And the emes says that's what he did. There was no keshes in his what? Midas Yesod.
So
Hafla, no. I mean, like one Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. That's all it took.
And Rashi.
What? Rashi's a few generations earlier. We don't know.
No, Rashi, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Yeah, a few generations earlier. We don't know that there was a why. How do you know there was no keshes?
I thought it says that.
Does it? Let's keep on. Okay.
I don't know this.
Okay. The point is this. I just want to make out this point that in the time of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, they never made this bracha, and they never bowed down, and it was all theoretical. So Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi is the one who says what you're supposed to do when you see a rainbow, but he never saw a rainbow. Okay.
This is a bilateral agreement. So who's the other party?
Hashem and Klal Yisrael. Hashem and Klal Yisrael. Okay, so let's talk about Noach.
No, bilateral means that either if one side's made for it, then it's bought.
So Noach saved the world.
So what? Is Hashem?
Noach saved the world. So I'm going to get to.
So I wanted to ask about Noach because he's a tzaddik as well. We told him.
Noach was tzaddik. Noach is tzaddik.
He was obviously born already mal.
Okay.
Is there just significance?
Good. Very good. Now, how do you know he was born mal?
Tomer.
All these
He was
chazals
there.
flying around.
He was
Tamim. Noilad Mol. So let's understand a keshes. A keshes is midas hayesod. That's what the Ramak says. Hayesod hu ois bris hakeshes. In the second paragraph of Yesod, he says that the Yesod hu ois bris hakeshes. In the middle of Parak Shmini. Oid sarach lizar shayesod hu ois bris hakeshes. V'hakeshes eina drucha lamala l'shaleach chitzim. And here the Ramat, Rav Moshe Cordevaro, makes a comparison, which is in the Zohar, between the keshes, the rainbow, and like a bow and an arrow. And it's so let's talk about this keshes. We're just trying to understand it as much as we can be masig in the keshes. But it seems to be a big, like right after. First of all, it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's unclear. On the one hand, you're supposed to bow down to it, like Yecheskel says. You should bow down to it. And if it wouldn't be for Mar Zion, we would bow down to it. And the Gemara in Chagiga says, I believe, just see inside. Chagiga Yadalit, maybe. The Gemara says that when Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was leaving Yerushalayim by the Chorban Beis Hamikdash, so Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was saying a drasha in the Ma'aseh Merkava. I explained, I think, on Tisha B'Av that the pshat in the talking about the Ma'aseh Merkava is because the Ma'aseh Merkava is where Yecheskel pointed out that the Shechina is not totally in a particular makom. Shechina could be on wheels, Merkava. Shechina could be on wheels, so it was appropriate to learn the Ma'aseh Merkava while going into Golus. But the Gemara says that Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was chazering over the Ma'aseh Merkava, and then it says further that this whole story. That when the story of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was said in front of Rabbi Yeshua, so Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Yossi HaKohen were walking on the derech. Amru, and they said, let's talk a little bit about the Ma'aseh Merkava. We saw, in other words, we see it's appropriate while you're traveling. I don't know where they were going. I know where Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai and Rabbi Elazar ben Arach were going. But wherever they were going, let's talk about the Ma'aseh Merkava. Pasach Rabbi Yeshua v'darash v'Ma'aseh Merkava. Right, it was in the middle of July, August. And even though it wasn't supposed to be, they were here in Eretz Yisrael. The sky became full of clouds. Venira saw Keshes ba'anan, and they saw, while they were talking about the Ma'aseh Merkava, they saw a rainbow in the clouds, middle of summer. And at that moment, the Ma'aseh Merkava, I was talking about the Ma'aseh Merkava, the Malachim all came to hear. Kivnei Adam shemiskapsin uvayin liris b'mizmutei chasim v'kala, like if a chasim and kala and an entourage or procession are going down the street with the clarinets and with the instruments, and everybody comes out on their porch to watch. So that's like what's going on down there, like shmak. So that's the way it was when Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Yossi were talking about the Ma'aseh Merkava. All the Malachim came to watch. Allah, Rabbi Yossi HaKohen v'sipra advarim lifnei Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. So Rabbi Yossi HaKohen said, I did the same thing as Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. But the difference is Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, it doesn't say there was a keshes. And by Rabbi Yossi, he says there was a keshes. Amar and Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, Ashreichem v'ashrei yoladetzchem. That's what it says in Pirkei Avos, right? on Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Chamisha Talmidim Hayu Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And he said, Ashrei Eladetchem. This is the source. Ashrei Einai Shiro Shekach Ro. Baruch Hashem, I was able to see this. Then he went and told them about a dream that he had. So he saw Keshes. Why did he see a rainbow? He's saying the Ma'aseh Merkava. And where did he see the rainbow? As you say, Ba'anon. He saw it in the cloud. So, what's a Keshes? I think what needs, why is a Keshes Midas HaYesod, and why is a Keshes the sign of the Bris? Bris Nosati. So we have two signs of a bris so far, before we get to tefillin. It's a noise, it's not a bris. We have two signs of a bris. The bris, the covenant, by the bris milah and the bris kesers. And they're both called Yesod, because Yesod means where heaven touches earth, where the Shemayim v'aretz come together. So this is what a keshes is. It starts from the ground, and it works itself up to the Shemayim, and it comes back to the ground. This is the symbolism of a halachic keshes, that it has to touch the earth. And there's 7 primary colors in the keshes, which are the 7 spheros. And what's happening is that the spheros are so the Midas HaYesod is right here, and then there's a cloud. See, it's interesting. The Ramban says in Parshas Noach that he says, "Chayovim anachnu l'kabel as das haYevonim." We have to be makabel the das of the Greeks, that the keshes comes from the earth. It's just, in other words, the Greeks says a natural phenomenon. What do you make a big deal about the rainbow? What happens is the Yuli Yalamin Arts, there's a mist which comes up from the rain, and it evaporates into the clouds, and it comes out in many different colors because of the filtration of the clouds, and you see a rainbow. So the Ramban says, "Chayovim anachnu l'kabel es divrei haYevonim." We have to be makabel the Yevonim. Why? Because this is very, very good, actually. What if you look at it even scientifically, what's going on is that the keshes is not coming from the Shemayim. Keshes is coming from the Aretz. The rain is coming from the Shemayim, but the keshes is coming from the Aretz. That's an evaporation coming from the Aretz. So let's call it in Kabbalistic terms, a keshes is the ultimate Nisarusa de Lozato. What's happening is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's mashpia, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, but Yesod and Malchus are the 2 places where we're doing our contribution. Pru Ravu, Umilus Haaretz. So there's nothing. The keshes and the bris milah, exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. It means that. See, the Arizal says a beautiful thing. He says, beautiful. I'll take his word for it. That when you look at a keshes coming from one end of the ground to the other, you're only seeing half. There's really a whole circle. It's under the ground, though. What is it? There's another half of the rainbow.
That's the 8th color.
It's true.
If there's no ground there, then
And we'll keep on going. Yeah.
That's the 8th color.
No. It's 7 colors. It's the sphera. Not talking about
the Rainbow Bridge.
the Niagara Falls.
Yeah, the keshet continues. You look inside the falls and you see the other half.
How can it include small?
Yes, sir.
Why does it have 7? And why does it touch the ground? If it's Yesod, it should be 6 colors. It should start above the ground a little bit and go to above the ground on the other side.
Touches. What do you mean? Why does it have to touch the ground?
Yeah, why does it touch
Malchus
the ground?
is under the ground, permeates the ground.
It's under.
Permeation.
Yesod is actually really on the ground already.
Right. What's under the ground, Rainbow Bridge, is Malchus. That's a simon of Malchus. So why Keshes is a good thing is when there's. I'll tell you why it's a good thing. I'll tell you why it's a bad thing. Why you're not supposed to tell somebody, "Hey, look outside. There's a Keshes." What's wrong? Then when you tell people, "Look, don't go to a bris." Don't go to a bris. The pshat is that the Keshes is Midas HaYesod. Does everyone understand this? There's a Keshes Midas HaYesod. It's coming, 7 spheros coming to the ground. But it's always ba'anon. And the anon is Midas Hadin. Hashem is mara the Keshes. He shows the Keshes whenever there's a Midas Hadin, a Mabel comes to the world or should come to the world. There's Midas Hadin. The anon Cloud represents Midas Hadin. Cloud represents when you can't see full through to the Shemayim. You have you have a separation between Shemayim and Aretz. That's what the clouds are for. So that's a Midas Hadin. I pointed out on Tisha B'Av also in Kina Vav, Sakoisa Ba'anan Kvoidecha. Sakoisi Ba'anan Kvoidecha. That's what the Rabbi Elazar HaKaler said. That you have created a sukkah, you've separated over here us from the Shemayim with an onon. Sakoisa, you made a sukkah. Schach. Ma'anan Kvoidecha, with a cloud. So cloud is always Midas Hadin on the one hand. On the other hand, you find like the Ananei HaKavod, like the clouds were protecting Klal Yisrael, and the clouds were stopping the arrows from coming in. So there's good news and there's bad news here with the cloud. Because on the one hand, it's a Midas Hadin, which means that be careful. On the other hand, Hagufa, the fact that there's Midas Hadin, means that there's a presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this world. If Hashem wouldn't be present and involved in the world, there's not Shaykh Midas Hadin. Who cares about you? It's like a Hefker island someplace in the Pacific. No kesher. The fact that there's Midas Hadin, that there's law and order, that you see a policeman shows up on the island, so that means the fact that there's din means involvement. Once you become a colony. So the world has din, so the bad news is you have to be careful. And the good news is that, Hashem is involved with us. So on the one hand, like the Anon, the Midas Hadin is like blocking our view of Shemayim. On the other hand, it's protecting us from the enemy. The Anon has like two opposite tchunais. So on the one hand, you have to bow down to the Keshes, if not for Marisayim. Because Neman b'brisay, v'kayim b'brisay, v'neman b'mamara. And when there's a Ma'aseh Merkava, look what's going on over here. There's a Golus, Ma'aseh Merkava. That's what Yechezkel's talking about. There's Golus. We're running away. This is terrible Midas Hadin, and the Keshes is always in the Anon. He says over here, the nearest a Keshes ba'Anon when they said over to Ma'aseh Merkava. On the other hand, God is with us. So what you have here with the Keshes is a clear case of Midas HaYesod. What does it mean? It means that Oiz v'Hadar, Netzach and Hadar there's the vision, there's the implementation. Hod. And then Yesod means that it actually becomes part of our life. Yesod, Sadik Yesod Olam means that it actually becomes part of our life. The world the soil is prepared for Tzemach David Avdecha, for the Tzemach of David Avdecha. The soil is prepared, and Malchus is already the Keshes under the ground, where it's coming in that the earth itself, Mola Kol Haaretz Deya, the earth itself comes. So that's the bris. That's the Keshes of the bris. Okay, so let's just 1 minute review of all this, because I said a lot of things. I don't know myself what I'm talking about anymore. But the Nakuda is that you have the bris by bris Milah, and you have the bris by bris Keshes. Both of them are Midas HaYesod, because both of them are the places where the Oretz starts taking over from the Shemayim. Pru, Urvu, Umilu, Es, Oretz. It's about the arts. Why do we want that? Because that's what Hashem wants. What Hashem wants is the Molokol Haaretz Deya. He wants the earth to become filled with Deya. He wants us to become filled with Deya. The Torah Shebiksav is when we wanted to know, the Tkufa of Torah Shebiksav is when we wanted to know what's the Ratzon Hashem. We looked up to the Shemayim. We went to the Navi. Navi looked up when we want to nowadays. Chacham Amud Minavi. We look at the Chachamim, we look at the Torah Shebal Peh. It's Rav and Abai and Hillel and Shammai who are telling us why, because they're from the earth and they're saying drushes. Shlosh Esrei drushes, Torah Nidreshes, Shlosh Midos, Torah Nidreshes. It's all matters of earth. Nobody's looking up to the Shemayim anymore and getting Nevuah. You could be inspired, Ruach HaKodesh, but nobody's getting a word straight from, right? If somebody tells you they had a prophecy, you have to, call the authorities. There's no prophecies. It doesn't butla in the book. There is no more prophecies. People think they have prophecies. I hear it all the time. They don't have prophecies. I don't know what they have, but it's a type of schizophrenia, I think. But what we do have is Torah Sheba'al Peh. Torah Sheba'al Peh is our ability to develop. Bris Milah Gufa is a drasha that it's Ba'isei Makom. Davar Pashut is a Davar Pashut to Chazal, besides for their Makabel, that this is, where is there another place which is more Midas HaYesod than Ba'isei Makom? Other things also, but that's not much the place of procreation. It's the godliness within us. Hence, says the Tomer Devorah, don't abuse it, don't be mevatel, that tremendous koach, and hence the chomer of the arais, etc. So there we have our multicolored keshes hitting the ground, and we have the bris milah hitting the ground, and from Yesod we can get finally into malchus.
It's interesting because there was 8 people in the Teva, and Shem was like the 8th person, just like there's 8 days for the bris milah.
Yeah. Be careful with the drush of the 8, because it's not.
Right.
You have to be careful what that is.